I had just graduated from college and decided to return to my native village to rest and recuperate after the grueling years of study. Living in the city had its advantages, lots of friends and entertainment, but my heart yearned for the simplicity and familiarity of the village. The constant hustle and bustle of city life, with its crowded streets and endless noise, often made me feel empty. In contrast, life in the village was slower, the air was fresh, and the tranquility allowed me to reconnect with myself. I still had friends in the village, and as soon as they heard about my arrival, they quickly gathered at my house, eager to catch up and relive the old days. The joy of meeting familiar faces and walking through places where we used to play as children filled me with an overwhelming sense of belonging. My grandfather had built a large house in the village, and now it was completely at my disposal, since my parents lived in the city and rarely came to visit. The house was spacious, filled with memories of summer vacations and childhood, and seemed like the perfect place to relax. A couple of my friends offered to celebrate my return, and we decided to have a little party. Instead of buying vodka, we chose rustic moonshine, which was more than enough for our modest feast. Moonshine had a sharp, earthy taste that carried the spirit of the countryside, and it was considered a symbol of tradition, carefully made by elderly villagers. Sharing it was like honoring the culture and memories of a place we all cherished. There was a lively bustle in the kitchen. We were preparing snacks and setting out plates and glasses for the celebration. The warm aroma of freshly baked bread, cured meats, and local cheeses filled the air, adding to the festive mood and reminding me of simpler times. The party was lively and energetic. One of my friends, Brian, invited a few girls to join us. To my surprise and joy, they came without hesitation, bringing with them their infectious excitement. If we ran out of something on the table, we just brought more from the kitchen. We sang, laughed, and had a lot of fun. Brian brought his guitar and started playing and singing. His talent attracted everyone's attention, and soon the girls joined him, their voices blending beautifully with the melodies. The room seemed to radiate warmth, as if the house itself was filled with our happiness. At one point, Brian improvised a song about our childhood adventures, and everyone burst out laughing, remembering how we played pranks. Guitar melodies were woven into our conversations, creating the perfect backdrop for an evening full of laughter and shared memories. As the evening progressed, the conversations became more lively, and we shared stories about our lives since the last time we saw each other. The bond we shared was stronger than ever. The evening became more and more cheerful, and the house seemed to come alive with music and laughter that spread over the quiet village night. Outside, the courtyard was illuminated by the soft glow of lanterns, casting flickering shadows that danced to the beat of our laughter. It seemed that the whole village had joined our celebration. At some point, we went outside to breathe in the cool night air and looked at the stars. Their radiance reminded us of the vastness of life and the joy of being together. When the party ended, people started to go home. Of the girls, only Anna remained, as her strict parents did not allow her to stay late. Brian stayed at the table, and I stayed with the other two girls, Emily and Lauren. We continued to chat and laugh, enjoying the warmth of the night and the camaraderie of close friends. Time seemed to slow down, allowing us to enjoy every moment. Emily shared a story about her recent travels, and Lauren shared funny anecdotes about her city life, making us laugh until our stomachs ached. We talked about our hopes and dreams, weaving a tapestry of stories that seemed to connect the past and the present. In the end, Emily decided to go home, and Lauren followed her. Brian and I volunteered to see them off. I went with Emily and Brian went with Lauren. The cool night air was refreshing, and as Emily and I walked, my mind was full of different thoughts. I wanted to spend more time with her, but I didn't know how to express it. My nervousness disappeared when the little dog scared her, making her cling to me tightly. I instinctively put my arm around her waist, and she didn't pull away. This moment seemed natural and soothing, as if it was meant to happen. The soft rustle of leaves and the distant chirping of crickets created a serene backdrop for our quiet walk. Emily began to talk about her love for the village, sharing childhood memories that mirrored my own. I took her by the hand and gently led her off the main path back to my yard. She followed me without question, her trust evident in the quiet footsteps beside me. There was a stack of hay behind the house, left over from the days when we kept cattle. This place has always been special to me. It reminded me of the carefree days of my childhood when I played hide and seek with friends or helped my grandfather during the harvest. The rustic charm of the haystack, combined with the silence of the night, created an atmosphere that evoked both nostalgia and romance. The scent of hay mixed with the cool night air, creating an intimate atmosphere. Emily seemed to understand our unspoken feelings, We experienced a tender and unforgettable moment that marked the beginning of something new, a connection that was both deep and exciting. The stars overhead sparkled like scattered diamonds, testifying to how our story unfolded. It seemed to us that we had been sitting together for several hours, talking quietly and enjoying each other's presence, as if the world around us had stopped for us. That evening marked the beginning of our relationship. We began meeting regularly, exploring the depth of our newfound bond. Every moment we spent together was spontaneous and sincere, filled with laughter, shared secrets, and the simple joy of communicating with each other. The village, with its quiet charm and soothing familiarity, became the backdrop for our growing romance. We took long walks along the river, exchanged heartfelt confessions under an old oak tree, and found joy in the most insignificant things, such as picking wildflowers, watching the sunset from a hill, or sharing a simple meal by the fireplace. The house that had once seemed too big and quiet was now filled with life when Emily was around. Her laughter echoed through the halls, whether she was joking about my clumsy attempts at cooking or enthusiastically telling me how her day had gone. One evening, she held an impromptu ball in the living room, dragging Brian and me into her merry chaos while the old radio was playing. In her presence, every corner turned into a place of warmth and happiness, which made the house seem truly alive. Even the villagers noticed this change and often joked good-naturedly about our inseparable friendship. It seemed that the village itself was imbued with our love, offering its blessings through serene beauty and eternal traditions. Together, we created a life full of simple joys and cherished memories, a life that reminded me of deep beauty in ordinary moments. If you like this story, don't forget to like and subscribe to other heartfelt stories filled with warmth, nostalgia, and love. Let these stories remind you of the beauty of simple moments and the magic of connections that shape our lives.